struggle with finding your correct foundation shade, then this video is for you. Hey girl, hey, my name is Krista Marie and I teach you makeup the easy way. I know how much of a struggle it can be to find your correct foundation shade. You don't know what shade to look for. You don't know what type of foundation you should be wearing. You're just so confused. Girl, I understand. I have been there, but I'm here to help you find your correct foundation shade the easy way. Okay, so first things first, you have to identify your skin undertone. In order to find your correct undertone shade, you're gonna do a wrist test. If the veins on your wrist is bluish purple, you have a more cooler undertone. If the veins in your wrist are more bluish green, you have more of a neutral undertone. If the veins in your wrist are green, then you have more of a warmer undertone. Also, there is olive, which you don't have any color to your veins at all. It's just your normal skin. You have more of an olive undertone. Now, where you're struggling to find your correct foundation shade comes within the undertone. Because if you have a cooler undertone, your foundation will appear to be pinky or reddish like. If you have more of a warmer undertone, your foundation will appear to look golden, yellow, or peachy like. So keep that in mind when you are looking at your foundations. Anytime that you apply your foundation to your face, if you say, this is too yellow or this looks a little bit too golden, then you know that's a foundation for a warmer undertone. Brands have really helped us out a lot when it comes to finding our correct foundation shades because they now have labels to them. Or this is 221C. This is a cooler undertone. So I think that's where you guys are struggling a lot with when it comes to finding your foundation shade is the undertones and knowing that there is a secondary undertone to that undertone. And this is why you're not getting your correct foundation. Now, another reason why you cannot find your foundation shade is probably because you're going way too light or you're going way too dark or you're sticking to that middle, but you just cannot decide. There's only a handful of skin shades. So you're gonna have your fair, you're gonna have your light, you're gonna have your medium, you're gonna have your tan, you're gonna have your deep, and you're gonna have your dark. You have to put yourself in the category of which skin shade you are. You're either gonna be in that range of fair to medium, or you're gonna be in that skin tone range of tan to dark. So we have our undertone, and we went over our skin shade. Next thing that you need to do is go to a Sephora, an Ulta store, and it's time to do the swatch test. You should be swatching your foundation from your neck up, not from your wrist, not from your hand, not from your forehead, not from your face. You always want to match your foundation from your neck up because when you go to apply your foundation needs to match your neck. When you go to Sephora or Ulta, go to the brands that have the most foundation shades. So we're gonna say Fenty Beauty, Estee Lauder, House Labs, just to name a few. You want to approach these brands when you're at the store because they're gonna have over 40 shades, okay? That means they're gonna have a foundation for your skin shade as well as your undertone. But once you get to the foundation shades, I want you to look at the shade ranges. You have to be able to categorize and put yourself into either shade range. You're either gonna you're gonna be in fair, or you're gonna be more towards that middle, tan to dark. Once you've done that, I want you to look on the bottle of the foundation. A lot of times in Sephora or Ulta, they have like little tabs where it has like the foundation shade and the undertone on it. That's what you want to look for. Okay, so you're in front of all the shades. You've analyzed the shades. Now you've picked, in the deep skin shade range, right? So we're gonna stick there. I want you to pick 3 to 4 foundations. If they don't have your foundation shade with the undertone, it's more common in neutral shade that we struggle in. Cool and warm, they will always have your foundation shade. But neutral, if you are neutral undertone and you don't see in for neutral on any other foundations, stick with more of a warmer foundation. It's going to complement your skin tone better than a cooler foundation. Now know that you are a deep skin complexion, you have a warm undertone, and we know that we're in the deep range, okay? So we're going to pick about 3 to 4 foundations and we're going to swatch them on our neck, okay? We're going to see which shade settles into the neck the best. Now, you definitely want to swatch them, step outside for like 5 minutes, let them dry down, and look outside in the light because the lighting in Sephora and Ulta and anywhere else is going to be so crappy. You want to make sure that you're getting an accurate match for your skin complexion. Once you waited 5 minutes and you've come back in, you're going to see which foundation shade settle the best. And that's going to be your correct foundation shade. So now you know your undertone, you know your foundation shade, you are ready to pick your foundation. But before you pick your foundation, you need to know what your skin type is. So for me, I do have oily skin. My skin gets super oily in the morning, all throughout the day. When you do your makeup instead with powder, your makeup can be super oily. If that's you, then girl, you have more of oily skin. If you get oily just up in your T-zone area only and you're dry everywhere else around the face, then you have more of a combination skin. And if you just have dry skin, girl, your skin is just dry as a Sahara desert, you need moisture, you need hydration, you have more of a drier skin. So for my oily skin girlies, I would stay away from foundations that have oil in them. If they have oil in them, they are going to just continue to produce oils for your skin, and you can clog up your pores. It's going to create breakouts. It's going to create blackheads on your face, and that we do not want. Any matte foundation or maybe a soft matte foundation will be ideal for you if you have oily skin. If you have more dry skin, that means that your face doesn't have any oils producing at all whatsoever. It's just completely dry. It's flaky. You would gear towards more luminous, radiant, and dewy foundations. And if you have combination skin, you get a little oily right up in your T-zone area, but the rest of your face is dry, I would say go for more of a soft matte. You can still do like a glowy or dewy foundation. Play around with it and see what works for you. As far as your primers for combination skin, have a hydrating primer for the rest of your face, and then I would have a matte primer for the T-zone area. You may have the double prime there. And the foundations, I mean, you can kind of go back and forth. Just play around to see which foundation, you know, suits your skin type the best. Now, there is a website that I highly recommend you guys go to once you know your foundation shade. It's called foundation.com. I want you to plug in 2 of your foundations. It's going to give you the foundation shades, your concealer shades, your powder shades, everything that you need. So that way, if you don't know what powders you should be using or concealer shades, you can just plug in those foundation shades. It's going to tell you your concealers and your powder shades as well. So I really hope that helps you guys. For foundation.com, I'm going to plug it down here, okay? It's an amazing website. I used to use it when I didn't know how to find my foundation or know what shades to use or powders. But it has helped me tremendously. If you're new to makeup and you want to know, you know, what shades you are in powders and concealers, this is going to be a great website for you to plug in your foundation shades. And like that, you just have everything that you need right in front of you. If you made it to the end of the video, I hope that I was able to help you find your correct foundation shade. If you have any questions, drop a comment down below. And if your post notification bells are not on, girl, make sure they are turned on so that you are being notified every time I do upload videos. If you're new and you made it to the end of this video, girl, hit that subscribe button, that post notification bell, so you are notified every time I do upload new videos. And check out this video right here because it's going to give you some makeup tips on how to do your makeup if you're a beginner in makeup. See you in my next video. Bye, loves.